Hey guys, yeah. So the big announcement for this stream is I got a shave, and I know that is probably quite a surprise to many of you because you've never seen me without facial hair. And I don't know. I'm thinking about growing it back out. As you can see, it's already kind of coming back in. I got it shaved 3 days ago, and I don't know. I mean, it just feels like a lot of work, if I'm being honest, to keep it shaved. To have it to have be clean shaven and to have it look nice, it takes a ton of effort. Uh, but I thought, why don't I see how it looks? I haven't had my face shaved in probably 5 years. I think the last time I remember getting it done. Uh, oh wow, thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. I think the last time I got it done, I was in Japan. So that was the last time I remember shaving, and it. Yeah, maybe I should keep it shaved. I'm getting a lot of compliments from uh, like a couple of Filipinas I've been interested in. They're like, "Wow, you look way better," and they really like it a lot. They say I look a lot much more handsome, and so certainly that's something I value, right? I value their opinion. Wow, a bunch of people are already hopping on here, guys. Please give us a thumbs up. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and yeah, feel free to chime in the chat. I got a good night's sleep last night. I slept really well last night. I probably slept about 10 hours, and so I'm feeling really refreshed this morning, and happy to answer any questions or thoughts you have. New Year's off to a good start. I'm about to ink a deal with the first sponsor of the channel, so that's really exciting. Helps me to bring honest content to you guys, at least honest from my based on my experiences here. Uh, Trying to think, I've got some ideas in the tank. So after this stream, I'm going to go out and film some stuff. I'm not exactly sure where. I'm trying to cover new ground here in town, trying to show some stuff that some of you may have not seen before, some different parts of the city. Let me pull up a map here. I'm not going to show the map on screen, but just while we have more people kind of filter into the room and uh, share their thoughts. Today, I might be going out by the airport to do something. I haven't really filmed over by the airport yet. I'm gonna have to film in between the planes taking off, but it looks like it might have some interesting kind of buildings to look at. Big Squid. Hey, Alex, keeping your beard trimmed and neat also takes a lot of time. True, Big Squid. That's a good point. It does take a lot of effort either way. Um, Kind of a little bit extreme, but one guy I followed for a while, Jason Fieber, he actually got it lasered, uh, got a laser treatment, so his doesn't grow in. But now I don't know. Um, I don't know if I don't know if that treatment that Jason got was permanent or if it if it wears off or what. Uh, Not something I'm interested in. I don't really want to have lasers on my face just for some cosmetic treatment. It'd be different if the beard caused some kind of health problem, but as far as I know, there's no health issue, with the beard. Buzz McCabe, my beard is nice and tight, and it's not going anywhere. It's a deal breaker. Had it 40 plus years. Yeah, Buzz. I mean, to me, it's like the original reason for shaving was because of the U.S. Army. So, like in military service, there was this idea you had to be prepared to put on a gas mask, and if a guy had a beard or had facial hair, then that would prevent the gas mask from being flushed on the face. So as far as I know, if anybody has like some knowledge about a different reason as to why men shave, feel free to put it down in the comments. But to me, that's not something I have to worry about. I'm not currently in the military. And so, yeah, um, I see it as just like, why should I be, concerned about a natural part of my body? Uh, it's, you know, Now, on the side of dating women, I have had ex-girlfriends that complained about it because they said it scratched their face, and it what's the word? It caused their face to break out if I didn't shave. So yeah, this guy did a really good job. I was expecting to break out. I was expecting to have like red spots, and he did such a thorough job and didn't rush. Um, where in the US and even in Japan, I felt they were rushed, and it caused skin irritation for me, and it looks awful, But he took his time. He took like probably a half hour to shave my face. And so, you know, very, very minimal discomfort, very minimal discomfort. Um, so that was really nice of him. He did a good job. Atong Barbershop here in Dumaguete. They have a couple of locations, and the guy's name's BB. So I want to give him a shout out in case anybody wants to get a shave or a nice haircut. They charge, I think, 90 pesos, and you can always contribute a little extra to BB. Hoshia says, look younger. Thank you so much, Hoshia. I appreciate that. I think here in the Philippines, part of it. Oh wow, um, Navy beards were allowed. That's when I grew one. Got it, Buzz. Okay, well, thank you for your service, Buzz. I appreciate your service, and yeah, I don't see. I know Bud Brown has one. Actually, he rocks it or has rocked it at times, and if there's like a legitimate reason or something like that, then I can understand it. Dating is big for a lot of guys here, right? Like a lot of guys that come here to the Philippines, dating is a top priority for them. And so if shaving is going to result in them having better dating success, they're all about it. One thing I wanted to toss out there is I have had some thoughts about spending some time in Indonesia. And in Indonesia, it's the opposite. So beards are actually positively regarded. According to my buddy who lives over there, he said that it's treated as a blessing, where here it's more like a curse. Not quite that bad, but here it's definitely kind of not. It's not really celebrated. Um, and Hey, Justin, good to see you, man. Yeah. Uh, they put pressure on me. Like the two Filipinas I'm really interested in. Um, both of them have indicated to me they would prefer, because I just asked them point blank, and they're like, "You look nice, but without the beard, you look more handsome." And I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll get rid of it and see what happens." Um, I definitely feel like less scraggly and less kind of haggard looking. Go out there and woo girls. Yeah, Hosha, definitely. That's a good call out. Um, oh, so there's a lot. So yeah, I thought this would draw us some laughs. So that's partly why I want to do this live stream. Is that so? One of the light bulbs in my ceiling burned out, and I have high ceilings in here. They're taller than I can manage to get, even standing on a chair, which is rare for me because normally I've been able, like, a lot of places I've lived. A lot of the places I lived, I just put it, grab a chair, stand on the chair. I changed the light bulb, but here I needed a ladder, and so my building manager, she provided me with a couple different light bulbs, and they don't. We tested them out, but it's just not that bright. And so, heck, I can let's see here. Yeah, you can see it's not really noticeable. And so she said she'd go try to find a better light bulb. And I thought, well, we had to lug this ladder up the stairs. It's pretty heavy. It's a heavy ladder. And instead of like taking it back down the stairs yesterday just to bring it back up today, I thought, well, why don't we just leave the ladder in here, and it'll be a funny prop in the live stream. It looks ridiculous, and I love it. So, and I thought, yeah, I definitely thought I'd get some comments on it because it's just very out of place. If they made you shave, I hope they reciprocate. Yeah, no comment, Justin. I can never behave. I hope you don't get offended. I like. Oh, no problem, Buzz. We all have our own preferences. True. It's only fair everyone shaves. Philip says, more streamlined service. Philip says, okay, that's a step ladder. Smo says, click the like button. Yeah, guys, please give us a thumbs up if you have it in your heart. It's free to do so, and it helps to distribute this live stream to more people. Yeah, it feels different. One of the reasons I never did shave was that I used to live in. I stand on the third or fourth step. I like the Amazon women critter hunter. I like a woman that's about 6.5 to 7 feet tall, and that way it just makes me feel more comfortable, and I feel safe and protected. And yeah, I want the tallest Filipino on record as my girlfriend. And let's see. Yeah, so I'm used to living in cold places, so that's why I always grew a beard. Is I lived in Colorado, and then I lived in Northern California, and it was kind of nice to protect my face from the wind, and just keep my face warm. And then here it's really hot, so it kind of doesn't really. Here it's more like kind of hot and itchy, scratchy, itchy and scratchy from Simpsons, but it's like more out of place. I might grow it back. It's just a lot of trouble, right? It's a lot of trouble to go every couple weeks, I'd probably need to go every couple weeks, maybe even like once a month to get it done. And it's like, okay, so you got to go down there, got to spend, 30 minutes, an hour getting it handled. And then, I don't know, probably 30 minutes getting home, or like 15, 20 minutes getting home. It's kind of far on the other end of town. It just, it's a lot of work, but we'll see what happens. Thank you so much, Anui. Hosha says, Amazon woman, you've got the ladder. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're pretty far from. Let me see. I'm going to Google tallest country in the world. Tallest country in the world. That way, I don't. Netherlands. Okay, that's what I was thinking. AI says Jaja Santiago is the tallest Filipino woman at 6'5". She was born on January 20th in Cavite. Wow. Okay. I'm going to try to find her online. Wow. So she's married. Wow. So she just became a citizen in Japan, and she is very tall. She is very tall. Um, let's see. Yeah, she's super tall. Just date two women at one go to compensate. Yeah, they could also do one could stand on the other's shoulders, and they could wear the coats to kind of, yeah, that would be kind of funny. I think like another reason like you don't see beards as much here is I've heard a lot of the guys just can't grow them. Like same in Japan, and definitely it's like my part of my South Asian background that I can grow a beard, and my beard though is not as impressive as some of my friends who are like 100% Indian. But yeah, I mean it's I don't know. I when I was younger, I always wanted to look older, and now that I'm getting older, I'm like, oh, maybe now it's time I want to look younger. It's they will card you at the bars now. True, Lincoln. Thank you, man. You say I'm looking good with the without the beard. My beard here is similar. It kind of looks messy. I look homeless. Yeah, it does. It looks haggard, and it's a lot of work to keep it trimmed. You know, it's pretty much like seems like every few days trying to trim it up and trying to like cut the straggling hairs, and it does it doesn't seem to grow evenly, right? It doesn't seem like certain parts of it grow faster than others, and so it just looks like kind of messy. But yeah, I'd even take. I don't think your wife would like that, Critter Hunter. I don't think Judea would support that. By the way, Critter Hunter, feel free to holler at me next time you come to town. I meant to get back to you yesterday, but yesterday I had a bunch of things come up. But happy to meet up. You know, sometime in town at Ground Zero. Um, yeah, or out in Dowan. I need to make it. I need to come out to Dowan again. Your spot's awesome. By the way, guys, shout out to Critter Hunter. If you're interested in diving, definitely worth checking out his interviews and his content, his channel, Critter Hunter. He he does something pretty, I don't know, yeah, pretty neat, pretty unique here. I think a lot of guys here they come and they just chill out, but he's really got this interesting active lifestyle where he's getting out in the water, and you know, he's doing the stuff that really hooked me on the Philippines. For me, it wasn't the dating here. It wasn't. Uh, it wasn't like spending time in the cities. It was being out in the islands and or being out on the beaches and being out in the water. Of course, diving is another level beyond what I did, but it's such a beautiful country. We actually okay. Let's see. One Filipina standing on another's shoulders. That should get to about six. Drew. Uh, Good morning from Ohio, U.S. No disrespect to the U.S. It's cold, Drew. That's the challenge. By the way, Drew, I enjoyed that coffee a lot. I went down here to Landau. Landau is a restaurant here. They do like a breakfast buffet Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When you come out this way, Drew, you know, if you make it out this way, then Landau is fantastic. It's like 300 pesos, and they do coffee and hot chocolate, and they do like bacon and eggs and pancakes, and it's a pretty serious breakfast buffet for the equivalent of about $5. And I go and I have like several cups of coffee with that breakfast, so it's fantastic. And yeah, Hosha says just get an electric shaver. Yeah, that's a good idea. They used one on my face, and I've had one in the U.S. But then eventually, like mine broke, and I think I brought one. I think I brought one with me. No, I didn't bring one with me. I wanted to bring one with me, but oh, thank you so much, Drew. I really appreciate that. I'll definitely go get more coffee. Thank you, Drew. Yeah, The coffee scene here is awesome. The coffee scene here is awesome. I tempted, like, one of the things I have thought about is I have thought about going downtown and trying to find a coffee maker to make some more coffee at home, because one of the things I do, really, part of it's to save time, and these are not the healthiest, but I buy these. They're cheap. That's a part of the reason I buy it, and they're probably not. Yeah, they're definitely not healthy, but they have, how much caffeine do they have? They have like 21 grams of sugar, so not good on the sugar department. Um, it doesn't. What does it say? It doesn't tell me how much caffeine. It just doesn't. It just doesn't tell me how much caffeine is in here. Uh, wow. Okay. So there's no telling how much caffeine is in here. Anyway, I prefer. Anyway, I prefer regular coffee. As long as you don't make fun of a peeled potato flopping. Oh, we actually need a Filipina in the chat to vouch for the new look. Yeah, guys, if you know of any Filipinas, feel free to introduce them to my channel. I think roughly 90% of my subscribers are men. But I do have some Filipina subscribers. One lady, I think she's in Hong Kong. Why can I not? Well, sometimes people use different names. So I haven't formally met her. I'd want to formally meet her before I mentioned her name, just because that way she can confirm, hey, that's my name, or no, that's just what I use on YouTube to protect my identity. We did have a Filipina last stream, but yeah, that would be very helpful, Philip. As long as you don't make fun of a peeled potato flopping around, I would like to learn Diva. Yeah, yeah. I think that's something that Justin prides himself on, is being open to older students that may have some limitations, right? May not, uh, may not feel as confident as some in other younger demographics. So, yeah. Um, let's see here. Oh, yeah, thank you again, Drew, and yeah, I'm definitely going to enjoy a coffee. There's yeah, there's a place near me too. There's a lot of places for good coffee. My mind has been blown by the amount of good cups of coffee. I had coffee yesterday at Tom and Tom's with Mike, and that was really good. It's it's a really convenient option if you're downtown. Um, and then if I'm wanting a quick cup of coffee, I'll go to a place like closer to uh, my building. But yeah, Justin, you had a great live stream yesterday. Glad to have you spend time with the people. Wonderful. Drew says I may need a shaver. Thanks, Sir Phil. I would say I'm young at 40, but with this new 17-year-old Alex, I'm aged. I tend to look very young. Critter Hunter looks 12. How long did it take you to grow the beard, Drew? Looking like Fez from that 70s show. Oh yeah, no braces here. No tape on the glasses. I can read actually without the glasses. I only recently got glasses back, so I had LASIK 9 years ago. Gosh, I can't believe I had glasses or LASIK 9 years ago. But it's yeah. So like last year in Thailand, I realized, hey, I probably need to get glasses because things were starting to look blurry. I was starting to get headaches a little bit, trying to read signs. I probably could get a touch up on the LASIK and they could do a little bit more, but I spend so much time on the computer with editing and reading I'll be a glasses guy probably for the rest of my life, or have some visual impairment for the rest of my life, unless they come out with some kind of new surgery to change things. I thought you was heading back to the U.S. to find work. I applied to some jobs, Hosha, but it's one to actually find a job that pays the bills is hard, right? So, Hosha, in the US, it's very easy to go get a job at Burger King or McDonald's or warehouse and basically survive, right? Make enough money to eat, and that's about it. But to actually get a job where you're putting away money, like what I used to earn in tech, that's a lot harder to find. And there's a major risk of going and trying to find one of those jobs, spending a lot of money to do so, not finding one of those jobs, and then going in the hole financially. So with the inflation, with the poor job market, it's a pretty big gamble to do so. And with the channel, my earnings from the channel are growing a lot faster than I thought that they would. So if I get to break even financially, like month after month after month, then it starts to make more sense to stay. And then when I go beyond that, and I'm putting money away every month, then it's like a no-brainer because I'm way happier traveling. I'm way happier living in Southeast Asia. Is life here perfect? Not at all. It's not perfect, but I know that I'm happier. I know that I can just feel it in my body. I'm less stressed. I just feel um, I just feel a lot happier over here. I have a community. I have friends here. I like the weather better here. Uh, yeah, that so let me get caught up a little bit. Ground zero. Yeah, so I saw Alex walking on the boulevard yesterday. He had a whole string of girls following him. He was trying to escape, but there was no hope. Yeah, I'm already noticing I get a lot more smiling looks from women and a lot more attention from women when I'm out in town. Where when I had the beard, uh, there was more skepticism. People were like, I don't know, I don't trust it. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Okay, Billy, I prefer to stay in a city with less expats. You've been to Davao. I haven't been to Davao, but I don't blame you, Billy. There's something for everybody, I think, here in the Philippines. There's something for most people. I have a buddy that loves Davao. He enjoys his time down there in Davao. He visited there and he said it's really orderly, and it's really, there's a lot more rules, more traffic enforcement, um, and he yeah, he just liked it down there. Come on, Alex is a 5 o'clock shadow at 8:30 a.m. Well, this is a few days. So I got a shave a few days ago. Uh, JG, who's a movie star imitated. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. That's so kind. Tony's been a long time supporter of the channel, guys. Shout out to Tony. And yeah, I definitely, I definitely am enjoying the new attention that I'm getting for having the shaved face and looking a lot sharper and cleaner. Uh, BK means JG or Burger King. Yes, CB. Let's see. I thought it was Ben Affleck's little brother. Oh, thank you, Tony. That's so nice of you. The first couple of days, my face felt numb. It doesn't feel numb anymore, but the first day or two, like my face, oh man, it felt like I'd gotten like punched in the face or something. Break even and stay. Yeah, CBG, that's how I feel, is like, if I get to break even consistently, it's all right. Take care, Lincoln. We'll see you next time. Have a nice day, man. If I get to break even, it's like, that's been a long time goal. And really, like, there's a certain target amount I have that would let me travel in perpetuity. So where I'm at now, I could afford to like slow travel in one city, stay like do a month at a time, or pick a city like Dumaguete. I've been here over 5 months now. I want to move around more. I like where I'm at. I like the Philippines. I like Dumaguete. But I want to see. I'm still in like adventure mode. Still at the time of my life where I have the energy to run around and to go to different places and explore different places. And I want to go see Indonesia. I want to go back to Malaysia at some point. I want to see Laos. Like I have some been up there, and I want to just get to some of these places I haven't been. And so increasing, the value I provide for people through the channel, then those doors will open up, and that's a far more enjoyable life than being chained to a desk back home, assuming I can even get chained to a desk back home, right? I mean, like I said, a lot of these people that talk about, oh, there's so many jobs back home. No, most of the jobs are jobs that nobody wants to do for not enough money to live. It's very easy to find a bad job. It's much harder to find a desirable job where you're getting ahead and it's worth the sacrifice. Where here, I get to a modest amount of income. Now I can pay into social, right? I can send Social Security a check every month. I can contribute to my retirement accounts. Like, people assume it's automatically a bad financial decision, but they don't understand. Like, if you're spending a lot less, you don't have to magically increase your spending if your income goes up. Like, you can put the extra anywhere in the world. You can save money by living below your means. There's almost no country where living below your means won't benefit you financially, won't allow you to get ahead. Justin's talked to me about how he came here, and during the pandemic, it was very stressful because things were shut down. It was hard for him to operate his shop, but he didn't just like quit. He didn't just give up. He persisted through the challenges, and I think a lot of people could learn something from his persistence. Still deciding Cebu or Davao, may stay 3 months in each. That's a good call, Billy. When I was in the Army, I had okay, Billy, what's your approximate monthly spend in peso for total cost? I would say if I averaged out, Billy, here in Dumaguete, I get by at about 35,000 pesos a month, about $600 a month. The rent for this apartment is 8,000 per month. So I spend about 8,000 every month on rent. That's about $140. That doesn't include aircon. My aircon probably works out to 2K a month. So I'm spending like, let's say 10,000 per month on rent and electric. I'd say probably another 16K, 17K on food. So 27K. And then another, I would say probably 8K on incidentals, visas, stuff like this, like inhaler, nose, clears my nose, electronics, auto electronics, like this cable to charge my my iPhone. This was, I don't know, what's your address, Alex? That's funny, Justin. How do you manage your visa? Do you extend every 2 months at immigration? I do, Billy. So I go down to immigration, and I just extend it myself. But as I get closer to the year mark, I'm going to be looking at partnering with one of the visa service providers here in Dumaguete. One in particular to help me, because I'm going to have to do a visa stamp transfer. So I renewed my passport, and I'm waiting on that to come back. And when that comes back, then I'll have to transfer the stamp to the new passport. And I could either go to Manila or I can hire a service for that. I'd rather hire the service because for me to go to Manila, it's a lot of stress. Manila is very crowded. It's the most densely populated city in the world. I don't know that I want to live in Manila. Um, and so basically I'd have to make a trip to Manila, or I could partner with the visa service. I'd rather partner with the visa service and promote, uh, help promote somebody's business. Um, Start a business, get some tips from Justin. Yeah, I'm all in on the digital media factor, Philip. I think that media is a great way to provide value to people, entertain people, try to cover topics that aren't, like a lot of content creators, it's the budget videos, it's the dating videos, and I try to do other things that haven't been covered a ton because, like, I don't know, I just think those subjects would get kind of worn out, and they're highly independent on the individual, right? Not to say I'm not going to cover them. Like I said, I'm about to partner with a business in one of those categories, but I want to do more variety on here and try to cover, like I said, things like psychology or group dynamics, not just the standard. So let's see. We just need one Filipina to rate the new look. Any Filipinas in the chat, please provide your vote. Let's see. Sorry, Phil, I tried, but they fainted when they saw him. That's funny. Ed says Indo amnesia. Unrecognizable, but looks better. Hey, Jay, good to see you. Way better. Bet's friend says, way better without the beard, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I probably get a lot more... looking younger. The hair you is making you look way older, man. The beard was hiding your face. Thank you for saying that. And I don't know, I guess I just felt self-conscious about like not having a beard, and yeah, it does look, I get a lot of compliments on it, Jay, as far as not having a beard anymore. And maybe I'll have to go every couple weeks and get it like shaved off, or go buy like a razor. And I grew up without like a positive male role model, so I never really learned how to shave properly. Nobody ever taught me. Now you can learn from YouTube, but what you can't have on YouTube is somebody there in person, like showing you that you can kind of learn things from YouTube. Certain things I just don't think there's consequences to messing up if you don't have somebody there teaching you how to do things right. Bud, your monthly budget of $30K was pre-beard removal. Dating budget is about to be blown. Yeah, I'm getting a lot more positive interest. That's a good budget. I know I'll need to pay more in Cebu. I believe the vow is less, but don't have a motorcycle. Yeah, Cebu, the main difference I've found in the Philippines is housing costs. Like most other things seem to cost about the same, roughly. You have more options to spend money in the bigger cities, but really it comes down, the biggest thing in my experience is that it comes down to housing, is that you're going to pay more for housing in like Cebu. Rather than paying $8K a month like I pay here in Dumaguete, I'd expect to pay more like $20K per month in Cebu. You made it motivated to shave mine off as well after this coffee. I'll do it. Good call, Jay. Ed says, don't leave home without your visa. Yeah, I'm a little stressed about it, but Mike has told me don't worry about it. It's normal. Everybody's got to renew their passport. You let immigration know, hey, I just had to renew my passport. That's why I'm a little bit delayed on getting the extension handled. And they understand. It's I'm definitely not the first foreigner that needed to renew a passport. Let's see. Are you looking forward to altcoin season? Yeah, I am, Florida Ken. It's been brutal. Like, yeah, markets have been brutal since like the start of the year. It's not been the most fun. Okay, Billy, what are the major differences between Dumagetti and Cebu? Which is better for dating? I think Cebu is better. I think Cebu, you just have more options. Dumagetti, I would say it's the worst place I've been in the Philippines for dating, just to be honest. I think some people may feel differently. I know some guys meet a great partner here, and I don't doubt that some guys do find success here. I've just found it takes a lot more work. It takes a lot more planning. There's a lot of options of uh, like foreigners, and also there's a lot of women here that are here for college, and college is a big investment for their families, and so they're instructed, hey, don't date, like go to college, don't date, get your education. uh, that's your priority in Dumaguete, because Dumaguete is expensive by like local standards. um, and yeah, so there's a lot of other priorities for women here in Dumaguete besides meeting a boyfriend. And I would say that's especially the case if you are looking for something specific. If you're looking for to just date anybody, then you could go anywhere in the Philippines. But if you're looking for something specific and you have like certain, there's certain things you're looking for, I think it's going to be easier. You're just going to have more options in Cebu. It's not that Cebu is uh, uh, heaven or whatever. It's just there's millions of people there. So you've got just more options, more to choose from. Here, I found you're having to be like following up a lot. You get ghosted, where Cebu, not so much. One of the two women that I'm really interested in is in Cebu, and I think that says a lot. I mean, her family is from this island, but they all moved up to. Uh, let's see. What's the major difference? Oh, did I see handcuffs on the ladder? Oh, I hope not, Justin. I hope not. I meant to put them away. If the handcuffs are still out, I meant to put them away. You must have left them here last night, Justin. Let's see here. Cebu is dating for IT Park, Ayala. Cebu, you need a higher budget. Room rentals are like 20K. How do you find a cheap room? What makes Duma a good fit? Duma is a good fit because I like just like running. I like having expat friends. I like that it's got more of a small town feeling. I like being able to. I like being able to walk around. I like the traffic's not that bad. I know some people talk about how awful traffic is here. It's probably worse than what it was in the past, but it's still. I mean, compared to when I lived in like around San Francisco, my time in Los Angeles, my time in New York, it's not that bad. Also with Dumaguete, like if you're trying to vlog, which is a priority for me, you're leveling up a lot faster. You make a lot of mistakes, but you also have a lot of friends around you that have made a lot of mistakes, and you can learn from those mistakes and just improve a lot faster than if you're on your own. Cebu, Brit is new there. Brit's Adventure, I think his name is Brit's Adventure or something like that. And he's new up in Cebu, and his channel is taking off because nobody's up there, right? And he has the persistence and the personality to get through those early days, and he's just got a knack for it. I like his channel a lot, but he's rare, right? I mean, not everybody can take off like that. So more power to Brit. Let's see. Cebu has the advantage of the international airport. You can fly direct to several Asian countries. That's a good call out, Philip. And I do think eventually, like if the channel grows and it's more substantial, I will look at bigger cities because that's just what I'm used to. I like Dumaguete, and a small town is right for me for right now. But I like some of the things about living in a bigger city, right? It just like that's just what I'm accustomed to. Yumi Mango says, I had to sell my firstborn child to pay rent in Redwood City. Yeah, Redwood City is astronomical. You're right down the street from Atherton. And I remember looking at rentals in Redwood because I interviewed for some jobs around San Jose. And yeah, you're talking like $2,600 a month for a studio or one bedroom apartment. Very expensive. What are some of the crypto altcoins that you hold, if you don't mind me sharing? Yeah, I hold Algorand. That's the only one I hold. I went all in on Algorand. Hasn't been my best decision. Algorand's performance has not been very good. I wish I'd spread it around more. You live and you learn. But yeah, that's the main one that I hold, and it's been disappointing, to be honest. I'm not sure being a girl being easier makes her higher quality. Easier, I don't mean easier like to have fun, but like Dumaguete has about 150,000 people. Let's say half are women, 75,000 are women. Let's say a third are at a appropriate age range, 25,000. Where Cebu's got, let's see, I'm just going to Cebu metro area, or not metro area, metro population, let's say 3.2 million. So let's say 1.6 million are women, and then 500,000 are age appropriate. So 500,000 age appropriate women versus 25,000. And many of the women in Cebu too are provincial. Like the woman I dated in Cebu, I was the second guy she ever dated. She was from Bohol, and the first guy was a Filipino guy in Bohol. And she just moved to Cebu and stayed single while working. But I agree, like, it's worth considering the mindset, having a more traditional mindset from the province. Then it's just a different attitude. I dated a woman in Cagayan de Oro. I should say I went on a date with her, and I asked her where she wanted to live in the future. And so this is a city girl, right, or city woman. Cagayan de Oro is one of the larger cities in Mindanao. And she said, I want to move to Australia. I want to be working in Australia. And I told her, well, I'd like to live in Southeast Asia. And so that's where we have different priorities. And we parted ways, right? We had our date. And so that's a good call out, Justin. I don't believe in prescriptions. I think for some guys, they're going to have better success in the city. I think for other guys, they're going to have better success in the province. Each guy is different. Each guy is looking for different things. Each guy has a different background. Like I'll probably sound crazy here. I know Ray is an example of this, of a city guy who is with a woman from the province. Some guys that are from the city, they might feel like, hey, you know what? I'm only used to being in the city. I would only live in Manila or Cebu. And I prefer somebody that's got that kind of city background. On the other hand, those cities are full of people those cities, I shouldn't say full, those cities do have people from provincial areas that they move there for work. They still maintain their values. They look at it as a place to go earn money to help their family, but they eventually plan to return to the province. I do notice a lot of people that I do notice a lot of people that are happy in their relationships. In my friend group, their wives are from provincial areas. So if I just looked at my friends group, certainly I would say that it's it's a good idea to at least consider the province. I think that the provincial areas tend to not be as materialistic as the big cities. There tends to be a more realistic expectation of lifestyle, where the woman who grows up in the city, she might have a certain expectation of, hey, I'm used to taking vacations to Japan or Malaysia or Thailand. I'm used to dining at the high-end restaurants. I'm used to having a new car or late model car in the driveway. where the guy who's come in here to slow down a bit, he's like, okay, yeah, we could figure out a way to earn enough to support that, but we're going to be busy all the time. We're going to be stressed out all the time. We're going to be trying to live a Western lifestyle here, which I would say most guys, not all, but most guys don't want to come here and try to recreate a Western lifestyle. Um, some do. It's probably, maybe, I would, if you ask me what percentage of guys come here looking to live a Western lifestyle, I'd say 20%. I'd say maybe 1 in 5 want to try to live the way they did back home. 4 in 5 come here to live differently. And more so over the long term. I think a lot of the guys that stay here and are happy here long term, they adopt some changes. And a lot of guys, probably a better way to put it, a lot of guys find somewhere in the middle. They're not looking to live totally Filipino style. They're not looking to live totally Western style. They kind of pick and choose. Okay, I like this about living Filipino style. I like this about living Western style. I want a car. I don't want a late model, $100,000 or $50,000 vehicle, but I don't want to be totally motorbike reliant. And so they find a happy middle ground that provides them with some conveniences, but is also practical for the Philippines. Because you got to think about the inclement weather here. Like, do I want to be trying to get a car wash every day because we're in rainy season and there's mud everywhere, the mud splashes on the car, and now, oh, my brand new car. And so, do I want to get a place with a garage? Okay, that's going to be harder to find. I see a lot more carports here in Dumaguete than I do like full-on garages. Kyle, hey Alex, good to see you, Kyle. Kirk says channeling Gerard Butler at 25 or so. Thank you, Kirk. You guys are so kind. Hey, Guapo, Mayang Buntal, you're looking good with the new haircut and shave. Thank you so much, Ben. I appreciate it. I take for granted that it's very budget friendly to get to look presentable here. I mean, back in the U.S., I would go to the Hood in San Francisco. I would go to the Tenderloin neighborhood, which is if anybody's been to San Francisco or knows about San Francisco, and you don't have like kids around, YouTube search when you get a chance Tenderloin just to get a sense of what that neighborhood looks like. But I would go there to get a haircut because I could get the haircut for $20, and I'd give a tip. But here, it's like a couple of bucks, and I can give a tip and come out way cheaper. So I could go. So there, I'd try to get a haircut every few months. Here, I could go every 6 weeks, but now I'm looking at bumping it up to every month. Well, getting a haircut once a month because, it's more budget friendly, and certainly with the videos, I think it would make me look more professional on my videos, and Michael, hang in there, brother. Algo will have its day. A wise man once said, time in the market will always be trying to time the market. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, that's my plan, is to just keep holding on. I hope this year does well for it. If it performs really well this year, I'll cash out some of my algo and then just have a big stack of cash to fund several years of vlogging and try to get the vlog to where the income is sufficient to cover my expenses and then some, right? I'd like to start paying into Social Security. I'd like to contribute to my Roth IRA again. I'd like to be able to move around a bit. Like I said, get back, try out Indonesia, visit Malaysia again. It's been 5 years since I was in Malaysia, and I happen to like Malaysia a lot. I'm not a partier, and so Malaysia is fantastic. What's everybody up to this week? I think I might have some more caffeine here. I know it's midweek. Well, it's early week back in the US. It's late night in Europe or early morning in Europe, and then it's mid morning here in the Philippines. I won't, Philip. The main reason being is I'm hesitant to show the date. One, a lot of Filipinos are shy. Two, I tend to want to protect their privacy. Three, there's a lot of reasons. Three, like if I show a Filipina on a date, unfortunately, some of my audience hates me and will try to steal her. Will try to reach out to her. Will try to flirt with her. Try to convince her to leave me. Might insult her. Which is dumb if they're in the Philippines, because defamation is a major law here. If you insult a Filipina, especially publicly, then that's like a big no-no. There's major consequences to that. I don't do that because I actually like Filipino people. I get along with 99.9% of the Filipinos that I meet. I find that most of them are very easygoing and very easy to get along with. But, some people can be kind of abrasive. Now, if I were to get married, which a lot of people have told me not to do, but if down the line I were to get married, I would strongly consider featuring my significant other in the videos. But it's tough, Philip. You think everybody is going to be supportive of your relationships, but when I go on first dates, Justin gets really jealous, and he tells him, stay away from my man. And he doesn't. I'm just giving Justin a hard time. I'm just giving Justin a hard time, guys. I have planned out a video talking about dating. Philip, like, basically, I want to do the video. Am I gay in the Philippines? Because I've had quite a few people assume that because I don't show a lot of women. That I am gay here. I have no problem with gay people. I am not gay. I did a video where I talked about coming here to meet an employee of mine that I had hired. What brought me to the Philippines was that I hired a virtual assistant here, and I wanted to meet him in person, meet his wife, meet his children, child at the time. Now he has multiple children. And that was what brought me here. In the time of working with him, he convinced me that I should consider dating a Filipina. I didn't come here for dating. I came here because there was a business incentive, and he worked really hard for me. He helped my business reach a lot of success. And and he's just a good guy overall. I shouldn't even say overall. He's just a good guy. I try to think of people as imperfect and moderate my expectations. I have low expectations for other people, but he showed that he's trustworthy. I've been this virtual assistant. We've known each other for 7 years now, and he's always been honest with me, and he's helped me a lot. And I'm not totally like. Yeah, it's tough, Philip. I wouldn't. Maybe it's something I could do for members. Like maybe some of that content is stuff I could do for channel members. I tend to trust channel members, and that might be something to do for channel members. Is like, hey, this is me going on a date. Kyle says, I cut my own hair and shave. I haven't paid for a haircut in over 25 years. That's a good idea, Kyle. That sounds like a way to definitely to save on budget and time. Like I knew a doctor back in Nashville, and he would cut his hair and shave because he said I just didn't have time to go to a barber. He just wanted to get it done himself and didn't have time. He worked a lot of hours. So yeah, nothing wrong with that. Manila says, looks youthful. Thank you so much, Manila. I appreciate that. It's Unhappy Monday. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Philip. Yeah, like I said, the challenges you'll have in Southeast Asia, more often than not, not always, but more often than not, will be with other expats. The local people will typically be easier to get along with. The average, let me reframe that. The average local person will typically be easier to get along with than the average expat. I do have expat friends here, but it's taken me time to cultivate those relationships. It's taken me time to sort out. I get along with this guy. I don't get along with this guy. Of course, Dumaguete has a reputation for drama. There's also a much bigger population here than most other places, most other expat communities. Like if I were to go to a local restaurant here, well, it's changed. I think there's more Filipinos now, but anyway, they're much more visible. Even for how many there are here, I'm not going to walk to town without running into at least one expat, and I get recognized when I'm out a lot. Fortunately, people have been really nice. That's been kind of surprised to me, but everybody that's come up to me in public has been really nice. And has told me, how our content is helpful for people and helps educate people, provide insight for people. So yeah, let's see here. Let me try to get a little bit caught up here. Plus, he will scare off all of the other girls. Yeah, I'm glad you got a kick out of that, Justin. Let's see. I get my haircuts in Chinatown, Oakland, $20. She knows what she's doing. Yeah, that's a great call out, Kirk. I should have done that because I would go across the bridge and go into the city because I was living in Berkeley, and I'd go across the city into the and end up in the TL. Like I'd take the BART to the mid-market station and then walk. But Chinatown, Oakland would have been closer and faster. I could have walked to Chinatown, Oakland from my old office. There's some things I miss about the Bay Area a lot. It's one of my favorite places I've ever lived in the world has been the Bay Area. It's a one of a kind place. After haircuts went up to $22 a cut, I started to go to the $5 place in the mall. Last year they went up to $8, and now they're at 10, but still cheaper than HC, but no break anymore. Yeah, 10 is still a good deal, Ben, but yeah, it's definitely going up. I know of people that sometimes they'll go to like a barber school, like they'll have like a haircutting school where people go learn how to give haircuts, and they'll get it done for cheaper. Philip says, yeah, I was half joking, but I think about the great content and drama it might create. Good call, Philip. Yeah, I mean, drama definitely sells. Like, people are naturally attracted to wild stuff. And, if they think drama is going on, they'll definitely click. That's what I've had to learn is like spice it up a bit. When I look at YouTube and the recommendations and the analytics, I cater a lot to people who are looking for documentary style content, but throwing in some spicy drama, not the worst idea. I don't want to do a freak show. Like I know of some bloggers, I'm not going to name them by name, but they do what I call a freak show. They want to make the audience like heckle or not heckle, but like, look at the freaks, look at how messed up their lives are. Look at these nutters in Southeast Asia. And I just don't, I get called too serious or like, I don't smile or laugh enough, but like, I do want to normalize it a bit. And, good to see you, Mike. Everybody check out Mike's channel. He does a great channel. Him and his wife Janet have lovely content, and they're good friends as well. I'm always happy to give them a call out. Check them out if you're not already familiar. I think there's a lot of overlap in our audiences, but I'm sure some of you haven't become familiar. And he covers a lot. He's very, very thorough And now he's branching into storytelling, and I find his stories to be really interesting. And yeah, let's see here. John Michael says, do you plan on returning to the U.S. before you head out to other Southeast Asian countries? I don't know why I feel nervous. I just saw Mike yesterday, but I'm like, oh, Hollywood. I call Mike Hollywood Mike, and that's because I mentioned to a friend, hey, you should meet Mike at some point. He said, I don't know. Mike's got a pretty big channel, and I might be intimidating or something like that. So ever since then, I started calling Mike. Let's see. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Yeah. So, Michael, I'd like to check out Indonesia at some point, and um, because yeah, Indonesia. I haven't yet been to Indonesia, and it's appealing to me for sure. Michael, I will be back within the next 3 weeks to live permanently. I'm back in the US, just organizing and obtaining the things that I need for my return. I'm sure our paths will cross at some point. That sounds fantastic, Michael. I know you're in Hawaii. What a beautiful state. I haven't yet been there. But it's it's a very interesting state. Simon, looking good, buddy. Keep that look. Thank you so much, Simon. I appreciate it. Everybody's been very complimentary about the shave. I'm pretty good at the shaving part, but I'll leave the haircut to the pros. Kirk says, I love Berkeley despite the politics. Yeah, it's pretty chaotic in Berkeley. Critter Hunter, drama sells, but people are getting tired of the countless dating advice channels. Yeah, I agree, Critter, and it just gets a bit it just gets a bit out of hand. Good morning. I love doing a freak show. That's funny, Mike. Yeah, I still need to keep it classy but funny. Could be interesting to see if you have dating game. Philip, I don't really feel like people need game here in the Philippines. I see in Dumaguete anyway, I often see kind of nerdy looking dudes with gorgeous Filipinas. Guys that may feel very uncomfortable trying to date back home. And here they're with like really nice looking ladies. So I feel like here you don't really have to. I mean, back home it feels like a job interview and you're trying to finesse people. And here there's a lot of nice women that they're just looking for a nice guy, where the back home, the nice guy is regarded with contempt, mockery, what a bum, and or what a schmuck or something like that. Here, the woman's like, wow, he's like a nice guy, and he's a decent man. Like maybe maybe I'll give him a chance, or I'll give him a chance. They're more receptive to that. The guy that has his stuff together, and yeah. Well, that's just what that's unfortunate that Heidi feels that way. Yeah, I've never said anything negative about them. I wish them the best. But I thank you for the heads up on that relay. I'll definitely be keeping that in mind. Some people don't like me talking about expat psychology. They've got some things going on, and they don't want people to discuss some of these issues because if you're, I'm not. This isn't about them specifically. This is just generally a tangent. If you're a person with some issues, and a lot of expats have issues, especially, I don't know, there's a lot of us that have issues. some of us that are predatory, we don't want people talking about these things, because if you're looking to target people, you're looking to manipulate, to scam, to take advantage, you don't want people discussing the signs to look out for. You don't want people discussing, um, I've had people get really upset and say, you're very judgmental. And I'm thinking, well, if you're an expat, you need to be judgmental to some extent. And more specifically, you need to have discernment, because um, there's no safety net over here if you make a bad decision. Um, it's very easy to get yourself entangled in some. I mean, that's why I suggest checking out Mike's channel if you haven't. Is he talks about a guy named uh, Bob. He talks about a guy named Bob and how Bob has found himself in this mess and how Bob got into that mess. And it's kind of innocuous, like it's kind of very basic how a person might get into a mess here. I find it's much easier to get yourself into a mess than it is to get yourself out of a mess, because people think I just act like I do back in America and there's no problem. No, people here are way more polite, way more considerate. Um, they're easier going. They're not confrontational. They're not looking to escalate in the way that some Americans, they thrive on conflict. They want conflict. They're bored if they're not involved in some kind of drama. They want that, right? They want to be stressed out. I don't know if they want as much as like they're just programmed to be that way. And yeah, looking fresh. Thank you, R. I appreciate that. Take your first date to Bali. And let's see, cars. I like the new look, Alex. When will you be getting a new passport? I'm hoping like in a week or two, cars. I've heard some people say the turnaround on new passports is 4 or 5 weeks. And I sent mine in day before Christmas. I mailed it to the Manila embassy. I assume it got there day after Christmas. And they told me 8 to 10 weeks, but I've had friends say it took them 4 or 5 weeks. I'm hoping it comes by the end of January, and that by January, this would be my ideal situation, cars, and that by end of January, I get it back, and I can take it to a visa service to transfer the stamp to the new passport. And let's see. Transfer the stamp to the new passport and then get the extension done to be in compliance, right? Because when you get a new passport, you have to transfer your stamp from your old passport to your new passport. Critter, thank you so much. This is a very kind comment from Justin. This time next year, when Alex has 80,000 subs, every hater changes their tune and tells people they knew him since the beginning. Yeah, I imagine people will come around, when the channel is a lot bigger, and the channel is growing steadily. The growth has been very steady month over month. I think part of it too is just like my focus is on providing value, and value for me comes in a different form than what maybe some other people are looking for. Like, I'm trying to seek out stuff that hasn't been talked about as much. And I think playing the long game is where I'll succeed, and trying not to go for a quick little this and that. That is called the narcissist. Drama is their energy source. Yeah, they can't help it. These cluster B people that they thrive on drama. It's a thrill to them. They can't handle the calm, the calm vibe in the Philippines. Philippines very chill, and people are just relaxed. They're having a good time. In my experience, maybe some other people have a different experience, but in my experience, people here are very easygoing. And it's something I love about this country, is just how much I laugh and joke around. And it's Yeah. You're getting successful when the trolls start coming out, and maybe you experience some of that. Yeah, true, Philip. It's true. Like you're definitely going to attract trolls as you grow. I don't consider myself a big channel at all. Like I see channels that are far further along, people like Mike or Paul or Chad or Justin, and I know they have their own trolls, which is dumb to me, but it technically helps with the algorithm to some extent. Like it shows YouTube engagement. So the trolls are like technically helping the people they hate get paid. Uh, I troll Alex all the time. I need the views. Yeah, my Mike's trying to find the latest and greatest big hit story, and so when people lose interest, he's got to come on here and give me a hard time. Um, yeah, Mike does a drama channel. If you didn't know, Mike does a drama channel. He hangs out with this guy named Bob that's in and out of jail, and yeah. Um, anyway, I'm teasing Mike a little bit, guys. Less drama or nonsense might mean slower subs, but also means a higher quality audience, more monetization opportunities. Yeah, Critter, I agree with that. It's not going to be a runaway boom overnight, massive channel, but the audience is going to be higher quality. It's going to be people I actually get along with, people I respect, people that have something valuable to contribute to the conversation. I don't want to run the freak show. I don't want to do the Jerry Springer type of content, like oh wow, and then or like pro wrestling vibes. This type of content can be very entertaining, but I don't know how much value that it provides. And yeah, I just don't know how much value it really provides in the long term. I think drama gets boring after a while. I think that's why we see certain drama channels, um, losing traction and um, just struggling to stay relevant. Like it's, let's see. Um, Limsey says, "You look your age now, Alex. Much better. Prefer you clean shaven. Cheers." Thank you, Limsey. Uh, some create problems where there are no problems, making noise when quiet is needed. I don't mind being in public or in a group as long as I can come and go as I please. I agree, Kyle. And I think we all have to learn to be happy alone. Well, I should say, I think it's a superpower to be happy alone. Also, I think being here, I have more opportunities for socializing. So on any given day, if I want to go hang out with people, I can. Typically, what stops me from socializing on any given day is not opportunities like Justin hit me up yesterday and day before that he was in town from Dowen. It's having other obligations, right? I have more and more pressure being put on my schedule. And yeah. Um, with the new look, the women will be all over you. That's funny. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. Um, one more thing about drama. I'm going for a totally different audience. Like I, a lot of, a lot of these kind of dramatic trolls or whatever try to attack me. I'm like, guys, you're like irrelevant. You're catering to a totally different group. I'm looking more for this type of people that are what's the word? I'm just looking for totally different people. Let's see. Did you shave? MV says you you shave for a Filipina? Somewhat, yeah. MB, I did. A couple of Filipinas I've been interested in. Um, yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it's. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm just my mind is kind of racing right now. Yeah, so ultimately I did shave. I had a couple of Filipinas I've been seeing. Yes, ooh, that's not. I'm bringing them over. That's not. I'm this and that. It's I'm getting to know them through conversation and through talking about different things. I look at it like, there's no reason. Oh, I'm gonna fall in love with the first woman I meet. I don't believe in rushing things. Um, and yeah, I mean, MV, I met P, I met Filipina P, and she said it looks good. Um, let's see. I think beard would look good on you again if you style it a different way, not too thick, not too thin, um, not the fed. Yeah, that's a good point. And not the fat. I'm not gonna give him the any attention. Yeah, I'm just not gonna give him any attention. Um, I wish him the best. I wish him the best. Um, I pulled it. Oh, hey, Doug. So Doug is a subscriber. I actually met Doug recently. We met up at Robinson's, and I showed him this Korean food stall there in Robinson's, and we got to meet and talk for a bit. And he's moved up to Tagaytay now. So fantastic, Doug. I'm glad to hear that his lease in Manila is coming to an end. So yeah, great to see you on here, Doug. I hope you're enjoying your time there in Tagaytay. MB, I have a beard myself and have had multiple Filipinas tell me they were interested in me because of it, not in spite of it. Just depends on how you groom it. That's a good point, MB. Yeah, so I met Filipina P back in September, and I asked her about it, and she said it looks good. So that was a kind compliment, and yeah, that was a nice thing for her to say, and some Filipinos do like it. For me, it was kind of hard to figure out how to style it and make it look good. Carr says drama, asking for money and telling grown men what to do is the triadic equation equals unsubscribe. I agree, Cars. For me, I'm just going to come out and say it. Like, grown men should not be involved in drama. It's not. Yeah, yeah. It just like it's yeah, and I also don't believe in asking for. I don't believe in e-begging. I think that you have as a person with a sales background, yeah, you've got to ask for the sale. You've got to make things sustainable from a business standpoint. There's a difference between asking for the sale and e-begging, right? E-begging is harassing your audience, your viewers to give money, give money, give money. Um, I look at it like if I was doing this solely for financial reasons, I'd go do something else because this is by no means as lucrative as some of the opportunities I've had in the US and opportunities I could probably put together in the US given enough time. Um, and I try to steer away from advice because I think insight is helpful. Where you get into advice is where you start to tell people to do things that are may not work out for them, and then they've got you to blame. Oh, he told me to just go to this city and I don't like this city, or he told me to date a woman with this and background or whatever, and this and that. Let's see. Filipinos hate beards. It scratches up their face. Yeah, it's that's a fair point. I've dated American women too, Frank, that said that, like white women that told me that, like, hey, I don't like the beard, not because I don't think it looks good, but because it's abrasive and it scratches up their face. Yeah, so I'm not doing that here, Ben. It's a funny call out. They don't like unkept beards. Put some beard oil on it, trim it. That's a good call out, Envy. Your experience may be different. And there's Filipina is a nationality, or Filipina is a nationality. It's not an ethnicity. So, many different Filipinos have many different preferences, different things they're into. Same with Thai women. There's a presumption they're all looking for like the American movie star. That's not the case. Like one of my Thai friends, she said specifically she would prefer to date an Asian man. So like I said, I think there's somebody out there for everybody. There's 4 billion women on the planet. Let's say 1 billion of those 4 billion women are within a normal age range and single. Maybe that person isn't in the United States, right? But maybe they're in the Philippines, or maybe they're in Thailand, maybe they're in Indonesia, maybe they're in, there are many different countries where there's some nice people to meet and to date. Critter says, I don't know who's been trolling you, but have you ever been trolled by a winner? Winners aren't concerned with negative things of others and are helpful to fellow men. I agree, Justin. I don't worry about it too much. And what inevitably ends up happening is that it boosts me because, like, anybody doing free marketing for me is like helping the channel grow. Even if they're talking bad, some of those people that are watching will come and check out the channel. And then they'll like what they see, and they'll like what what I'm talking about, and they'll subscribe to the channel. So like, I've had, Justin, you remind me, I had a coworker at one time. I'll try to be vague about this as possible. Always, I'm a movie critic. I judge movies. You think this movie star that got paid $12 million to make this movie, or $8 million to make this movie, cares what you think about it? No, he went and did his job, or she went and did her job, got a big paycheck, and then moved on with their life. You spending all your time trying to critique or to judge them, talk about what you think about it, how this is the worst movie ever. You're working for them. Like, they're living in your head rent free. You're working for them. And so, yeah, I agree with you, Justin. I wish people the best. I truly do. But the drama is not providing value. Getting into it with trolls doesn't provide value. There are legitimate critiques. I separate legitimate critique from trolling. Trolling is just looking to do damage, stir up drama, to be harmful. Legitimate critique, I do get legitimate critiques. Like, my content was way too fast. I was pulling out all the spaces trying to save people time, but it became hard to listen to. And so people had to actually slow the content down. So now I've learned, hey, don't pull out every single little space because it's unpleasant to listen to. That was a fair critique. Another critique I had, shave. Like, your beard isn't that great looking. And so I went and got a shave. And now I'm getting a lot of compliments on having a shaved face. And I may stick with it. I'm getting like a lot more compliments than not. Probably 8 out of 10 people are telling me you look better without the facial hair. Since you're fairly young, do you prefer dating Filipinas about the same age or younger? I think Philip, So I'm 32 now. The best dating experiences I've had have been I've heard half your age plus 7 years, right? So uh, that for me, that would be 23, 24, 25 range. Um, the two that I've been chatting with are 24 and 26. Um, and it just, that's a good range for me. I find younger than 24, like in the say 20 to 24 range, there's just not the same level of maturity. There's not as much shared culture. Um, they're not as chilled out. They're more higher energy. Where for me, I'm more chilled out. I'm still in some ways high energy, but I'm not looking to be out on the town. I'm past my partying phase. I'm not looking to go out and party hard. I like going to bed early every night. So I would say that 24 to 26 range has been a good fit for me now. Now, when I was here 5 years ago, I was interested 22, 23, 24, because I was 27, right? So when you're 27, dating a woman in her early 20s, that's probably a good fit. But for me, I would just, I'd probably struggle to relate a bit more to them at this point, and have different priorities than I had back then. Um, for what it's worth, I think you look better without the beard. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. I respect that you don't e-beg. I can't stand bloggers who are quick to beg for money and not offering anything in return. Yeah, I don't like e-begging either. To me, um, if I was at the point where I needed to e-beg, I would just need to go back home. That's the time. If you're in such rough financial shape, you need to e-bag and um, rattle the coin jar or whatever. It's time to go back home. It's time to earn some more money. Time to save up. Time to plan your next trip. The economic opportunities are far more lucrative back in the U.S. than they are over here. And yeah, since you're, let's see, I live in SF. Filipinos run Daly City. That's a Filipino town. Somebody had asked if I'd been to Daly City. That may have gotten comment may have gotten deleted. Um, Oh, MB, I think you can get a new passport mail from Manila. Yeah, so they are going to mail it here. They just need to call me when it's on the way. I have spent time in Daly City, so I think that comment might have gotten delayed. Okay, I see relay signings. Yeah, I've been to Daly City. Actually, I was in Daly City to try the robot-made Creator Burger. This was a few years ago, and they have a restaurant there. This was 3 years ago. No, 2 years ago, and they have a restaurant there that does robot-made hamburgers. I really liked that robot-made hamburger. They did a good job with it. Now it's not totally robot-made, but it was a good experience. I like Daly City. I had some coworkers living in Daly City as well. Streisand effect. Yeah, exactly, MV. My grandfather used to say, "There's a cork for every bottle." I agree, Kyle. I definitely agree. Um, Especially if you're willing to travel outside of your home country, which I assume most of the guys that subscribe to my channel, they are willing and they're interested. I mean, dating is one of the many reasons to go abroad. I think it's not the only reason for me. I like culture. I like the travel aspect. I like seeing new places, seeing new things, meeting interesting people. It's a lot of fun. The woman you're chatting with, did you meet them online or just out in Duma? I just met him. So a couple things. And Relay says high five. Yeah, high five, Frank. I love San Francisco, by the way. Gorgeous city. My favorite American city by far. And I was so blessed to live in close proximity over there in the East Bay. And I'd come to San Francisco just about every weekend for years. And it's just, I love the architecture. I love the weather. I love the culture. I like how I can go to 3 different neighborhoods and have 3 different cultural experiences. I remember I'd go to Chinatown, there'd be a Chinatown parade, and then I'd go to North Beach and have a slice of pizza. And then I'd go to Dolores Park and relax in the park, looking at the skyline, and finish and grab a burrito, and then hop on the train and go home. I took that for granted because I was working a lot and very busy. But that's such a beautiful city, and it's one of a kind. You know, it's like it's San Francisco and the Bay Area in general is like the Milan or the London of today's era, where it's like maybe even the Rome of today's era in terms of global influence with the tech industry and like just to create. I love California, but the Bay Area is really incredible. Yeah. So MB, to answer your question, did I meet the women online or just out in Dumaguete? So one of the 2 women, I met her aunt here in Dumaguete. I just started talking to her. They were having something on the boulevard, some kind of party or something like that. And so I just like walked up to her and started talking to her. And she said, you should meet my niece. Well, both of my 2 nieces. And so she connected me with her nieces. One I gravitated toward a bit more than the other. The other was a bit more shy. And she and I got along great. And so we actually met in person a month or 2 ago. She came down here for her uncle's wedding. Her uncle works for the Philippines National Police. And so she came down for that wedding, and they, she had a great time, but she wanted to meet up with me. And we went and had some coffee and talked for a while, and she's a really lovely lady. But she lives in Cebu, and I'm not quite ready to move to Cebu. I'm not opposed to it in the future, but for right now, Dumaguete is a better fit. And yeah, I hope that answers your question. Oh, the other woman I'm talking to, a friend of mine introduced me to her here in Dumaguete. And so that was good. But like I said, I'm not in a rush. And I do think online dating can have some positives. Like I said, I've got a sponsor in that category. I need to just sign the contract actually and start plugging them. Because I think there's a lot of value in online dating, especially for guys who are back in the US, that they're not here and in person. It's a fantastic way, at the very least, to get to know the culture, get a sense for the lifestyles over here, learn about the different parts of the country, learn about your options. For some guys, they have certain specifications, and getting a sense, is that a possibility? Can I meet people like that, or women like that? And yeah. So you did your passport renewal through the embassy in Manila? Yeah, Ben. So I mailed it up there actually. I printed the paperwork out. I paid the fee. I put it all in an envelope, and then I went down to LBC, and LBC helped me send it to Manila. And so I should get a call from LBC and just pay for the return delivery, cash on delivery. So when they bring the new passport to me, then I should be able to just pay for that return. And that saves me from having to go up there immediately. I still may need to go up there to transfer the stamp, but yeah, I just I sent in the renewal to Manila. One sec, guys. I have somebody at the door. I'll be right. It'll take me just a minute. Oh, thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Did I sign? Or?
Yes, there's a payment.
Oh, how much, sir? Is it a passport?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Embassy.
Embassy. Okay, thank you. One sec, sir. I'll get the payment really. Okay, guys. So that's my passport. My passport just arrived, and so I need to get the payment together. I'm thrilled about this. I was not expecting it to be so quick. Go USA. Thank you, USA, for being. Oh no, I've got to. Well, I got it actually. So they want 251 pesos for this return of the passport. I got it right here, guys. So I'm gonna go pay that. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry, sir. Okay, I was wrong, guys. 258. I'm gonna stay. Guys, I apologize for that. I did not expect to get my new passport in. So let's. Okay, so. Oh no. Well, I hope it's the new passport. Let me. Let's see here. Okay, so this is what it looks like, guys. I gotta cover up the address, but yeah, you can see. We'll see. I'm nervous. I'm hoping it's not something like application rejected or I've filled something out incorrectly. I'm just. If you guys can't tell, I get a little bit paranoid sometimes about some of these. Oh, this is. Oh no. Oh man, the photo didn't. Oh, that stinks. I've got to use a new photo. That's not good. So that's really disappointing. So I made a mistake there. So what happens is oh man, guys, I probably got to go soon to go deal with this. Yeah, I'm kind of, I need to make some phone calls. So they gave me a blurry photo. I got a photo made here in Dumaguete, and they gave me a blurry photo. It's not sharp. It's not clear. And so actually they rejected my my application, and I have to get a new photo for that. That's really stressful. Yeah, so guys, I'll probably have to drop here soon and go deal with that. That's really frustrating. Maybe I should just go to Manila and try to do this in person. Yeah, that's really stressful. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and drop because I need to. Oh, you did in Cebu Consulate, Critter. So maybe if I make a trip up to Cebu, that's a good call out. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate the heads up on that. Well, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this stream up because I need to go get on this, and I'll catch up with you guys soon. I'll provide an update. So sorry about that, but I'll get it sorted out. Take care, everybody.